Mrs. Carolyn Seepersad Bachan. Madam Political Leader, I now invite you to address us. Okay, this is the part of the installation, and I'm going to ask our new political leader, Mrs. Carolyn Seepersad Bachan, to swear to the oath, or read the oath. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Let me start by reading the vision and mission of the COP. The COP vision statement, our vision, through the principles and by the governance of the Congress of the People, to transform Trinidad and Tobago into a model nation where all aspire to excellence, where the government is the servant of the people, the society enjoys public peace and security, the economy is strong and sustainable, prosperity is equitably shared by all, and every citizen is assured of equal justice, and where we find enduring unity and strength in our diversity as we move forward together. Our mission in getting our country right by fostering a new political culture based on the respect for the people of our environment and for our institutions, by unwavering commitment to individual rights and community entitlements, to transparency, accountability, integrity, and decency, fiscal discipline, and balanced development, by ensuring fairness and equality through leading in unifying the diverse groups in our society through genuine inclusion, by honoring our promises, giving selfless service to community and country, and protecting the population from all forms of injustice and terror, and by making the best use of our nation's resources for the benefit of all in our twin island republic. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the clergy, members of other faith-based organizations, members of the COP family, members of the National Council, National Executive, Mr. Chairman, I hereby accept to serve as political leader of the Congress of the People, and to at all times abide by the Constitution of this great party, and to abide by our vision and our mission. I thank you.
I take this opportunity now to officially welcome our new political leader, Mrs. Carolyn Seepersad Bachan.
Please be seated. I promise not to be very long. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, all members of the National Council present here today, members of the National Executive, representatives of the faith-based organizations, colleagues, fellow COP members, fellow citizens dedicated to our beloved country, Trinidad and Tobago. As is never before, we need God's help and guidance. If ever we needed it, now is the time. If this country, Mother Trinidad and Tobago, ever needed a new solution to the polarization, the empty rhetoric, the corruption, waste and neglect that is so evident and increasingly getting worse, now is the time. We, the Congress of the People, we who are beyond race, religion, and region, are for all races, all religions, and all regions, now is the time to take up the challenge with boundless faith in the destiny of our beloved country. It is fitting, in fact it is prophetic, that the words I find most appropriate to capture the essence of the challenge that we now face can be summarized in our mission. And it comes from St. Paul's, 2 Corinthians 5:17. He said, "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has passed away, behold, the new has come." My fellow COP members, the new has come. But in embracing the new, we have to acknowledge the old and build on it. First, I want to thank all of you for your attendance and your support, your encouragement, and most of all, your commitment to our party, the Congress of the People. The new has indeed come. Today marks the spiritual rebirth of our party. Let me say a special thank you to the representatives of the various faiths who took time out of their busy schedules and through prayers and messages contributed to this spiritual rebirth. Reverend Sina Ryan, Pandit Ravi J, Iqbal Haidar, our colleague in the Congress of the People, and Bishop John in his absence. But today also marks the rebirth of the COP spirit. The members of the COP family present here and the many who were unable to attend, thank you for being part of this occasion. Today's function marks a new beginning, a new dedication within our party, and a new spirit among all of us. You all have given me a great responsibility, and indeed I am humbled to stay close to you and to serve you, and for this I say thank you. We can lament that our voter turnout was low. Not so, Sharon? And I want to give a round of applause to my opponent, Sharon. As many of you will know, on Sunday night we met here as a campaign team, both campaign teams, and we decided to start the COP afresh Monday morning, 8 o'clock, as a united party, all people on board. So yes, we can lament on our low voter turnout, but I want to remind you that this party started with 15 people. Did you remember those days when we facilitated 50 meetings in 10 nights, 5 meetings a night? And with 15 people, we grew to over 40,000 members and eventually won 149,000 votes, all within 1 year. You know what? 587 is 36 times 15. Not only can we do it again, but we are ready to take this to the next level. Against all adversity, uncertainty, and a general sense of apathy to politics, these 587 members took time out of their busy schedules to vote in this election. And they must be commended for continuing to believe in the philosophy and the vision of the Congress of the People. As Mr. Dukaran said publicly, they are now all part of that mustard seed that will continue to germinate. They have rejuvenated the inner activists in all of us and sends a loud and clear message that there is hope for us to get things right as we emerge in the political playfield. And yes, Mr. Chairman, we will look for the false seeds. I can tell you that this is the genuine mustard seed. There's a realization that the failure of the business as usual politics based on race and rewards will not allow us to emerge from the crisis this country faces. There's a realization that our philosophy and mission can be 36 times more effective in taking Trinidad and Tobago into the 21st century. You know, as Black Stalin sang so many years ago, our country needs us today more than ever. And the chorus that should be our rallying cry, our slogan, not just for us, but our beloved country. We can make it if we try. Try a little harder. We can make it if we really try. We know the road ahead is filled with challenges. However, we are not daunted. Some may say we are at rock bottom. That is a good place to be at present. It gives us the opportunity to rebuild a solid foundation as strong as a rock. In addition, the prevailing toxic political environment presents further challenges which we must overcome, for this mustard seed must continue to germinate and eventually bear fruits. But how do we regain the trust and confidence that so many of our fellow citizens reposed in us many years ago. I have learned that we will be judged by our actions and deeds and not our communications. We can talk the best possible game, but to win the hearts and minds of people, we must walk the talk and walk the walk. How will we do this? Let me start by saying, you will recall that the COP advocated strongly for community-based governance. In accordance with the provisions of our Constitution, we will immediately begin the process of re-establishing community circles throughout Trinidad and Tobago. As we engage communities, there will be anger because we let them down. However, all good organizations go through the process of forming, storming, norming, and performing. The storming is inevitable. But if you take it, if you weather the storm, the performing will happen. We will go out there and we will together face the storm and help communities to perform by demanding performance from those to whom they gave power. Each circle will be encouraged to take up activities that are in the interest of that community. They will collaborate with non-governmental organizations, civil society organizations, faith-based organizations, and other stakeholders within their communities. The central organs of the party, be it the Women's Arm, the Youth Arm, the National Executive, the Parliamentary Caucus, the Local Government Caucus, will be required to sustain the initiatives and tasks undertaken by our community circles. The hub of activity in this party will therefore be focused on community empowerment and supported by all of us who are at the leadership level, because we are here to serve you. This is how we will bring about servant leadership as enshrined in our own Constitution. The servant leader is a servant first. It begins with a natural feeling that one wants to serve and to serve first. As servant leaders, our primary focus is on the growth and well-being of people and the communities to which they belong. We will reap our future benefits when those persons who are served grow intellectually and spiritually, and that while being served, they become healthier, wiser, freer, more autonomous, and most importantly, more likely themselves to become servants. And the servant leadership cycle will continue. Most importantly, this is how the new 21st century politician will be developed as a servant of the people. Over the next 100 days, we will strengthen and in some cases re-establish the organs of our party to serve you, the community circles, in this way. Let me now turn to, in accordance with the principles of good governance, all the institutions and organs of this party, including our community circles and constituency executives, will be open, transparent, and accountable, and will at all times abide by the constitution of this party. Towards this end, they will operate by newly designed processes and procedures. Over the next 100 days, we will develop and implement technology-based systems to allow for the ease of accountability and transparency in this party. We will also establish an auditing team to ensure, and mainly that comprise of young people, to ensure that these procedures are adhered to at all times by all organs and institutions of this party. How we govern ourselves internally is how we will govern a country. So let it start right inside of this party. One of our first initiatives is campaign finance reform. We have advocated and lobbied for campaign finance reform. Mr. Secretary Finance, please be put on notice that we will start the process by instituting new procedures, and Mr. Chairman, for party financing in accordance with the mandate of campaign finance reform. We cannot preach it and not practice it in our own party. The Congress of the People was known for its rich dialogue and conversations. Over the next 100 days, we will be establishing our policy teams that will formulate solutions to national problems, starting with crime, economy, health, employment, and housing. We will not just talk, but will act in association with the real stakeholders, the citizens of this country, who are for the most part being ignored, abused, and exploited. There is much untapped potential in this country, waiting to be exploited, and in so doing, allow us to become one of the most progressive countries in this world. Over the next 100 days, we will also be launching the Solution Series, which will involve the many young people. Over this campaign, I was very surprised at the many young people who came forward and volunteered their services in research and development for the various policy teams. Many of them are rich with ideas and enthusiasm. They will help us sustain the spirit of optimism, the can-do attitude that will take us forward. They will be responsible for tailoring the national solutions developed by our policy teams at the community level and support the community circles in advocating for the implementation of these solutions. Most importantly, the Solution Series will also attempt to identify new opportunities for entrepreneurship towards supporting and facilitating community circles engaged in this country in community entrepreneurship projects. This is how we will develop a cadre of young servant leaders, capable of leading in various spheres of our society, including at the community, regional, and national levels. They will learn to practice principle-centered leadership and the principles of good governance. This is what our country needs today, and we must start it from right here inside of the COP. We will also reinstitute, many of you would have recalled, the weekly training and development programs that we used to have on a Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock. In public speaking, in order to ensure that there are no offensive and discriminatory remarks by our public speakers on our public platforms, and we will focus only on issues and solutions. In our party, we're going to start about 2 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon. All are invited, but especially our young people. Going forward, I put on notice, there will be zero tolerance for racial and ethnic slurs, character assassinations, discrimination against women, or inciting of violence. And all of this in accordance with our people's charter as set out and established in that charter. We will use our public platforms to celebrate diversity and to bring about unity in this nation. This is how we will engender innovation in our country, which will help us emerge out of this crisis that we find ourselves. Trinidad and Tobago cannot be rebuilt by our generation alone. All that we say and do from now on must be based on the bedrock of this party's beliefs and philosophy. And let me say to all, including our young people, do not be distracted. Do not be dismayed by the critics publicly stating that the Congress of the People is too idealistic, because that is exactly what the new politics of this nation urgently needs today. Ideas and ideology, and we will move forward in bringing new ideologies into the Congress, into the COP. You know, allow me to just say this to the members of the faith-based organizations. Someone called me during the campaign, and it was a minister of religion. He said to me, "Why are you getting yourself back involved in this? Do you realize you're too good, you're too honest in this? You can't make a good politician. Why you want to run for this thing? You know, you should step out of it." And I was surprised by this, because I said to myself, is this the standard that we set for our politicians in this country? Is it that we accepted that politicians must be deceptive, there must be trickery, there must be dishonesty, there must be corruption? Ladies and gentlemen, let us tell this country that politicians can be honest, there can be integrity, we can be genuine, we can be sincere, and that we will put country first and not our political party. Members of the COP family, as I have stated publicly, in keeping with the tenets of our party, there will be no maximum leader called Carolyn. I want no blind loyalty to Carolyn. What we urgently need is loyalty to our philosophy, vision, principles, and values of the COP. In this regard, I stated several times that we would establish a leadership team to assist me as political leader in defining the way forward. I am pleased to announce that I've had discussions with some of those who have agreed to serve on this leadership team. Others will join as the time goes on and as we rebuild this party. Let me thank the following for first agreeing to serve on this team. They were not able to be here because some of them are out of the country. I want to thank Carolyn Bachan for coming forward and agreeing to be part of this team. I want to thank Bernard Pantin, and I see Bernard is here today. Bernard, please stand. For agreeing to come forward to be part of this leadership team. I want to thank Dr. Sulaiman Juman for coming forward and being part of this team. I have also held discussions with Dr. Merle Hodge and Paula Morgan, and both will give me their answers in due course. As I close, I want to thank the Almighty for allowing us the opportunity as a party to re-enter, rebuild, and reignite the flame of hope. We are still in deep waters, and we have a lot to do to reach the surface and then reach the stars. I believe that faith can move mountains. Today, this little band of brothers and sisters have rekindled our faith and renewed our vows to make our country the best it can be. When Jesus met Peter, his brother and father, the Sea of Galilee, mending their fish nets, he said to them, "Come with me, and I will make you fishers of men." They walked away from their livelihoods and started a new life of unselfish support for their community and for their God. We have a new mandate ahead of us to create a political revolution in the minds and hearts of not just COP members, but within all those who thirst for the new politics. Let us together create a new national spirit of unity and trust. I want to end with a quote from Peter, chapter 3, verse 8. Finally, all of you, be like-minded, be sympathetic, love one another, be compassionate and humble. This is how we will go forward. Talk softly, carry a big smile, and a strong and solid message of hope and salvation. May God bless all of you and our party, the Congress of the People, and may God bless our great nation, Trinidad and Tobago. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen.